31. Sophia took a taxi and got off in front of the corporate building half an hour later. On a whim, she wanted to ask Daniel out for dinner but forgot to message him, so she was naturally stopped downstairs by the receptionist who had never seen her before. Receptionist: "You're the 13th this month." Sophia looked at him, confused. Receptionist: "That fake confused expression is quite good." Sophia said nothing. The receptionist, who probably found Sophia amusing, said a few more words. "I'm not saying anything, but what's wrong with you young ladies? You're pretty and your family is rich, but why do you have to fixate on our CEO?" Sophia was intrigued by her words. She exited the dialer, sent a WhatsApp message to Daniel, and then started chatting with the receptionist enthusiastically. Sophia smiled and said, "Isn't it okay if I think he's good-looking?" The receptionist rolled her eyes. "Superficial. Very superficial. Let me tell you, sister, any love that's based on appearances won't last." Sophia nodded. "That makes sense, but if he wasn't good-looking, love wouldn't even start." The receptionist said, "So, you have to discover someone's inner beauty. Take our CEO, for example. He may look good, but when it comes to inner beauty, I'm sorry to say, he doesn't have it at all." Sophia was curious. "Why do you say that?" The receptionist said, "You don't know this? To be honest, I've been working as a receptionist here for 2 or 3 years now. I've seen countless people, and the number of young ladies who come to see Mr. White every month alone is no less than this." She held up her hand and made the number 20. Sophia was surprised. "So many?" "Yeah, that's the average. The highest number in 1 month was 27, the receptionist said. That shows how much of a magnet he is." Sophia: "How does this mean he doesn't have inner beauty?" The receptionist said, "Hey, listen to me. Among all the young ladies who come here, there's one who's very pretty and particularly persistent. According to our incomplete statistics, she's been here at least a dozen times. We followed Mr. White's instructions not to let anyone up, and when she found out, she started ambushing him. One time, she ambushed him, and he happened to be coming to work. Many people on the first floor saw it. The young lady grabbed him and poured out her heart. Honestly, if I were a man, I would have been moved. But Mr. White didn't. He patiently waited for her to finish, and then said a few words." The receptionist had a knack for storytelling, pausing at just the right moments. Sophia had no choice but to ask, "What did he say?" The first sentence was, "Do I know you?" The second was, "This suit is really expensive. Did you know that?" "I'm not exaggerating at all." The young lady burst into tears on the spot. Those tears were like, well, she cried a lot. TSK, 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 I wonder how many male colleagues felt bad for her. Sophia could almost picture Daniel's harsh and impatient expression. She suppressed a laugh and said, that's a bit much." "Not a little, it's clearly quite excessive." The receptionist circled back. "So, sister, you see, our Mr. White is a heartless person. I see that you're nice, and since this is your first time here, I advise you to stop." The receptionist said earnestly, "For a love that is destined to fail, the best option is not to start it at all." Sophia made a solemn hands-folded salute and said, "I am enlightened." The receptionist said, "Besides, even if you don't stop, it's going to be tough. Mr. White has a fiancée. According to our inside information, the future Mrs. White is very powerful and keeps Mr. White under very tight control. He used to go out for events after work, but now he rushes home as soon as he's done. I heard it's the future Mrs. White's order. If he's not home by 9 o'clock, He has to sleep on the couch. Sophia. Where did this rumor come from? How could she not know she had this ability? 32. Over there, Daniel finally finished processing the documents at hand. He took the elevator to the first floor and saw Sophia at the reception desk. Daniel watched from afar as Sophia, carrying her bag and leaning on the counter, was happily chatting with the receptionist. He couldn't help but sigh. This woman could really start a conversation wherever she went. He was impressed. So he walked towards her, raising his voice slightly. Sophia. Sophia heard the sound and turned around. She nodded to Daniel and said, "Coming." The receptionist suddenly heard a strange yet familiar voice calling out the strange yet familiar name Sophia. She paused for a second and then turned her head mechanically. After 2 seconds, her mouth opened, and after 3 seconds, it opened as wide as possible. Sophia's heart was already elsewhere, and she didn't notice the other person's surprise at all. She quickly said, "I have to go now, sis. It's been great chatting with you."
See you next time. Bye.
Receptionist. Why are you doing this to me? 33. Daniel took Sophia's bag and put it in the back seat. After she fastened her seatbelt, he asked, "What do you want to eat? Western or Japanese?" Sophia thought for a moment, then said with a smile, "I feel like something simple today." 20 minutes later, the simple Sophia directed Daniel to a Japanese restaurant where the average cost per person was over $100. Daniel smiled helplessly. They asked for a small booth decorated in Japanese style. Sophia sat down on the tatami and began to look through the menu. Daniel sat opposite her, slowly taking off his suit jacket, then rolling up his shirt cuffs and finally loosening his tie. His movements were neither hurried nor slow, very pleasing to the eye. Sophia flipped the page and looked up to peek, then flipped the page and looked up to peek. After 5 minutes, she threw the menu down in mock anger and said, "I'm not ordering any more." Question mark. Daniel, who had just picked up his teacup, was puzzled. He tried to guess what the young lady was thinking. Is this place not simple enough? Frustrated, Sophia picked up the menu again and said to the waiter, "I'll have one of everything from these 2 pages. 34. The waiter took note and walked out. When the sliding door closed, only Sophia and Daniel were left sitting opposite each other in the small cubicle. Sophia sipped the plum wine and was half drunk before the food even arrived. This wouldn't have happened if she had just eaten some edamame. Daniel had noticed since Grandpa White's birthday that Sophia liked to drink. Her alcohol tolerance wasn't bad, but it definitely wasn't enough for her to drink like this. So, Daniel whispered, "Drink less or you'll feel dizzy." Sophia reluctantly put down the cup. She muttered softly, "No need to wait. I was about to faint." "Daniel, you said W." Suddenly, the sliding wooden door was pushed open from the outside, and a head squeezed in. "Sis, smash it." Sophia tilted her head and saw it was indeed Lucas Walker. "It's you. Come in and sit down." Daniel glanced at Lucas, who had entered the room. He raised his cup and drank tea unmoved. "Lucas, I was wondering, Mr. White actually skipped our guys' night. Turns out he brought his sis for some alone time. If it weren't for Little Lee's cousin telling me he saw you, I wouldn't have known you were hiding here. Come on, come sit with us. It's lively. Don't you get lonely just the 2 of you?" Sophia doesn't care, but she has to wait for Daniel's decision. Daniel said, "Is it up to you whether we're lonely, or are you lonely?" Does this almost 30-year-old single man have a partner? Fuck. Lucas was angry and aggrieved. Man, I mean, well, can you please not attack me so casually? Just stating the facts, Daniel said. All right, if you have anything else to say, get out. Lucas. I don't care. Today was the day we had planned to get together. It's fine if you just canceled on us, but now you can't even let my sis hang with us for a while. Daniel said calmly, Sophia asked me out 3 days ago. You're too late. There's no point in talking anymore. Get lost now. Lucas. What happened to the promise of brothers being like brothers? Okay, I'm leaving. 35. Daniel sent Lucas away and took out his cell phone. As expected, Lucas sent him a WhatsApp message filled with grief and anger. Lucas. Daniel White, you are not human. We have this party every year. What do you mean it's too late? Lucas. I was embarrassed to say it in front of my sis just now. Lucas. You really are a little bit now. Lucas whipped. Lucas. Henpecked. Daniel, I'll pay for your meals tonight. Lucas/blowkiss/blowkiss/blowkiss. Thank you, boss, you're so nice. I wish you and sis a pleasant night. Daniel looked at the row of wavy lines, sneered slightly, and didn't reply. 36. Sophia had just witnessed the biggest betrayal of the year and belatedly realized, I seem to have disturbed something. So you had. The dishes were served one after another. Daniel washed his hands at the sink nearby. He picked up his chopsticks and asked, Do you want wasabi with the salmon? Without responding. Sophia. No, I like it plain with the soy sauce. Daniel curled the corners of his lips. Her attention was too easy to divert. 37. After a hearty meal, Daniel finally helped the overfed Sophia out of the cubicle. Daniel had his suit jacket draped over his left arm and was holding Sophia's bag in his right hand. She walked side by side with him, burping with satisfaction from time to time. As they were about to leave the Japanese restaurant, a woman suddenly grabbed Daniel from behind and said, Daniel. Sophia was still feeling dizzy from eating. The young lady didn't wait for Daniel to speak. She swooped in and landed in Daniel's arms. She hugged Daniel tightly and said, Daniel, I didn't expect we would meet here. It's been a year since last time. I missed you so much. Daniel couldn't free his hands to pull the woman away. His brows furrowed. He turned around and saw Sophia watching the show with great interest. His temper immediately flared. Is it good? He asked Sophia. Sophia nodded subconsciously, successfully making Daniel's face darker. Fortunately, she reacted quickly and finally pulled the young lady away before Daniel could curse. Friend, calm down. It's inappropriate for you to behave like this in public. The young lady probably just remembered that this was a public place. She smoothed her hair and suddenly turned to Sophia and said, Who are you? What's your relationship with Daniel? Why did you let him carry your bag? Don't you have hands? This was the second time she was implicated and attacked. Seeing Daniel's sullen face and no sign of him wanting to speak, Sophia hesitated for a moment before saying, I'm his sister. 38. Sophia. Yes, I'm just his sister. She said purple is very charming. Daniel was so angry that he almost laughed. Sing, why don't you sing? Sophia hesitated, then said, You seem upset. Daniel sneered. Oh, really? Was I that obvious? 39. What had been a good night was ruined by this inexplicable woman. Daniel's impatience index had increased exponentially. He couldn't tell whether it was because of that woman or because of Sophia's indifferent expression just now. Daniel handed the bag to Sophia and said to her, "If I remember correctly, I told you last time that my suits are very expensive. The dry cleaning bill will be mailed to your house in 2 days. Remember to pay it." After saying that, Daniel strode away, and Sophia hurriedly followed him, not forgetting to look back halfway. It was indeed a scene of tearful distress that could move people's hearts. The lady at the reception really didn't lie to me. 40. Daniel drove all the way home without saying a word, and Sophia sat in the passenger seat as quiet as a mouse. Sophia vaguely felt as if she had made him angry. Well, she really shouldn't have watched the show at that time, but Sophia was so lost in her own thoughts that she didn't notice she had followed Daniel all the way to his bedroom door until Daniel's impatient voice rang out above her head. "How long are you going to follow me?" Sophia came back to her senses. "I think I made you angry, so." Hearing her say this, Daniel turned around and walked away. He pushed open the bathroom door and unbuttoned his shirt as he walked. Sophia barely held the door against her. Although she still couldn't figure out why Daniel was angry, she apologized. "I was wrong." Daniel said expressionlessly, "I've heard it. Please leave." Then he slammed the door.